Hey, Paul. Welcome to Table Scraps.
Ben, thank you very much for inviting me to Table Scraps.
Yeah, inaugural episode.
Yeah, your choice for number one is respectable.
Thank you. Thank you. I could think of no better person other than maybe, I don't know, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts would be great. I like Obama.
Obama would be good.
He's a deep gamer, apparently.
I would love that. Is that true?
I don't know.
I feel like he would really enjoy gaming.
He definitely has played games on the global stage.
What game do you think former President Obama would really respond best to?
Like, I feel like he, despite being president of the United States, I feel that when I look at him, I think he's an introvert.
Okay.
So I think a game that requires a lot of yelling would not be like Ready Set Bet, for example, would not be his jam.
I think he would actually like Ready Set Bet.
I'm not saying he wouldn't like it. I'm saying I don't think he will.
It's not his jam.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that he might. I think people would say, "Oh, maybe like Twilight Struggle," or like they'll think like a political game or a war game because like a former president. I think that Obama would really like a farming game.
Interesting.
I think he would enjoy Fields of Arle. I think he would enjoy its like easygoing nature. I think he would enjoy what it says about work.
Sure.
About finding a way.
Like, if I had to choose, I would say hegemony.
Oh, yeah. But that's so on the nose, too.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm basic.
I think he would like it. No. I think he would like hegemony also because it has a lot to say about class and everything. And this is not a political moment.
No,
we're not trying to have a political moment. We just stumbled into talking about this because you mentioned Obama. Yeah. I just mentioned Julia Roberts.
Yeah, no, and she's pretty as a woman.
Okay. Oh, wait. So because I know some people may be like, wow, this new Table Scraps sure is political because they talked about Obama. What game do you think would appeal to Julia Roberts?
Oh, let's see. Julia Roberts. When I think of Julia Roberts, I don't actually think of Julia. I don't know Julia Roberts. I think of two movies. I think of Erin Brockovitch and I think of Notting Hill. So I think
those are the two movies you think of with Julia Roberts first.
I do. Yes, there's Pretty Woman, but but I think like when I think of Julia Roberts, those are my go-tos. Like Julia.
All right. Listen, I can't listen. You're what you feel is what you feel.
Yeah, thank you for not shaming me for my Julia Roberts choice.
No, I think it's a really, you know what? Like, I mean, Erin Brockovitch is definitely going to be a top top hit.
So if I combine those two characters,
yes,
I think. Wow, I don't.
Erin Brockovitch. Well, wait, why are you combining Erin Brockovitch and Notting Hill Lady? Because there's no need to combine them.
Well, like that. If I combine those two characters, what would that character pick? And for some reason, and this just popped in my head.
Are you going to say Wingspan?
I would say Windmill Valley.
We match on the first two letters. Windmill Valley. I don't think Erin Brockovitch likes Windmill Valley. I think Notting Hill Lady. No, okay. I don't even know what the Notting Hill character is named. Elizabeth, maybe.
Sure. I feel bad. I don't either. I don't know any of the characters' names.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't. Okay. Julia Roberts in Notting Hill. Hey Siri, who did Julia Roberts play in Notting Hill? Okay. Anna Scott.
Anna Scott. Yes.
Okay. Anna Scott, I feel like would. This is what Anna Scott would do playing Windmill Valley. She'd be like, oh, this is really nice. This is really nice. And you're teaching her and she'd be like, you know what? Why don't we can just like play because I learn by playing. And so why don't we just like play? And then she'd be like, okay, so the windmill, it goes which way? And you're like, clockwise, Anna. She goes, okay. Counterclockwise, no, clockwise. She goes, I know, I'm just tired. I was on set all day today. And you can tell she hates it and she's trying to be nice because you're like excited to play Windmill Valley. But Anna Scott is basically like, I cannot believe I hung out with these nerds for the night playing board games.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Notting Hill lately? Because I don't want to say it's a perfect movie, But
it's a good one.
It's a good
one. I
one.
was in Notting Hill recently, actually.
Well, there you go. The movie or the
I was in the movie. You may not know this, but I transported into the movie.
You were the guys trying to steal the what do you call it? To steal the travel guide.
Yeah. Now, Erin Brockovitch, I would say, okay, what game would Erin Brockovitch play? I think she would like something more like Ameritrashy, right?
Ameritrashy.
I don't see Erin Brockovitch ever liking Windmill Valley. Like, that does not make any sense to me in any.
I think she needs, to chill, and I think a bunch of flowers. I don't think
clean energy. She will like that.
I don't think that she gets a lot of flowers. I think it might really appeal to her.
I'm looking at my games right now. I think that she would like. Would she like Ethnos?
Ethnos, yes, that's the answer. That's the answer. That's right. Oh,
wait, no. I think you know what? I think she would like Concordia.
I'm going to respect that.
Oh no.
You have the answer.
She would like Dead of Winter. She would. First of all, anyone that I've introduced to Dead of Winter has loved it, and it has been gone over really well for people who do not play games because it's the narrative and because it's semi-cooperative. There's not a lot of pressure to know all the rules because some people can say, okay, now you're going to pass a card. Now you're going to do this. Now you're going to look. So like there's actually a good amount of hand holding that can happen. So people can do that. I think she would get into the zombies. I think she would get into like killing the zombies. I think she would like playing like the cook or something like that. Not the cook. There's like a lady in one of the characters is like a lady with a cool like leather jacket. She would have like the broom,
Like I think there is like evidence for that. Like,
yeah,
because she does like, in the movie, she does like people. She's very interested in people.
Absolutely.
And Dead of Winter definitely has that aspect of it. So I'm gonna give that to you.
I think okay. So Erin Brockovitch would like to play Dead of Winter.
And if you push it to Anna Scott,
what is Anna Scott? We actually did not decide what she would like. We just decided that she would not like Windmill Valley.
But she would be pretty adept at Dead of Winter because she's an actress.
She would be. I think Anna Scott she might like Castles of Burgundy, actually. I think she'd be confused at first, but then she would grow to like it.
I don't think you think Anna Scott's smart enough. I think she's a lot smarter than you think.
She might be. I'm going to check. I am taking a moment here to check the computer because it went to sleep, and I want to make sure it's still recording us.
Yes,
because this is the first time we've done this software.
Yes, we're doing it, guys. This is the first time we're doing this.
This will be an edit.
So yeah, we're gonna cut.
Maybe I won't cut.
So Ben is still working on the computer, and let me tell you, for just $9.95, you took. I don't know.
It's working.
Great.
It worked. It's still. I put the mouse. I put the mouse in the area where it's like so that way it doesn't go to sleep.
Okay.
I guess maybe I should get like a monitor. This is very much a DIY video set.
This is an alpha.
This is an alpha
test.
Converted The Office into a little bit of a video set. I watched many, many YouTube videos on this. And I have sort of like a janky little set here, which
it's not janky. It's at least janky plus.
I think it's janky plus. It's definitely janky plus. Look, I got this beautiful thing here. There's like a room divider that has shelves. So I put a board game up. I put Salt Fjord next to Paul as if we're going to talk about Salt Fjord. But guess what?
But we're not.
I mean, we can.
We can. I haven't played it.
It's good. It's a really good game. I put Fromage down there. Oh, Anna Scott would love Fromage.
Was she? I haven't played it.
She would.
Good.
I think that it's very charming. I think Anna Scott would like that. But you're right. I haven't actually seen Notting Hill in a very long time, so I don't remember what her likes or dislikes are. I just feel like knowing, like, with my experience so far that I've had with actresses like Anna Scott, I think that I could just see her just getting bored with whatever activity I bring to her that's in the board game state.
I don't know. I think she's funny. She's dry.
Okay.
And she knows how to give a line. Like, all this. It's not real, right? Like,
yeah. I know she's not a real person.
I'm just a girl.
standing in front of a board game.
That's right.
Asking it
to love me.
I think that, here's the thing. I will accept that Anna Scott, it's not that I'm making her dumb. I'm just saying I just don't see her caring. And like, I'm going to assume that she has not played a lot of board games.
Yeah, okay. That's a choice.
And I see her like playing board games because she's nice. And we said, do you want to play a board game with us? And so she says, sure. And she says, I love Monopoly. I love board games. She might even do a have you played Codenames? It's so fun. And you go, oh, yeah, of course. She goes, or I know Apples. And I'm not saying there's any snobbery. I'm just saying like this is a lot of times been my experience with people who are not really in the hobby.
Sure.
But if you say, I love playing board games, they say, oh my God, I love board games too. Have you played Monopoly Go? And you go, oh, cool. I'm not going to like shit on them.
Mm-hmm. And yet.
but also my experience is that people are, a lot of times when we talk about board games, people will go to those places because sometimes people do revisit Monopoly as like a nostalgia play.
I do.
Right? And so then when we're like, okay, here's Windmill Valley, and they're shocked by how many rules. And to us, Windmill Valley is not
light.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's not light, but it's not crazy. But to people who are used to Monopoly or Sorry or things like that, it's like shocking. I recently taught On the Underground to someone. Did we ever play On the Underground?
Yeah.
I think we did. It's this great game. Takes place in London. The first map takes place in London. Very Anna Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're building a subway map. It's very, very simple. On your turn, you're either laying down tracks or you're collecting tokens. That's all you do.
She probably actually uses Underground. She moved to London.
Do you think that Anna Scott uses the Underground? She's a star.
No, I don't
She had to
think so.
run into Hugh Grant's house.
Yeah, no, I don't think
spill that very, very bright orange juice on him, right?
No, I think he spilled it on her.
He spilled it on her?
That's why they had to go to his place to...
Oh, yeah. Well, either way. Anyway, I taught this game recently to a really good friend of mine who I just enjoy, and he's very smart, but he's not used to playing games. And he was like, whoa, another rule? And in my mind, I was like, you don't even know about rules. Sure. So I kind of see Anna Scott like that. Like
I can see. Okay, that's fair. I'll give.
I think she wants to support, and I think she wants to have. I think she wants to be part of it, and she wants to explore it. But I think that she might. It may be more. She may have bit off more than she was expecting.
Maybe in the show in the movie. They play the game of like who gets the last cookie.
Yeah.
And like whoever has the most miserable life, gets it.
Okay.
And so like everyone goes blank, 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 blank. Hugh Grant gives, his spiel about how he's a loser. And he's about to get it. And Anna Scott goes, well, hey, don't I get a shot?
Okay. But see, I can see Anna Scott playing like the cookie game. I just think that Windmill Valley.
No. Okay, fair. That's fair.
Well, it brings up a good question, an interesting question. But how do you? It brings up a question. And I love, by the way, like Obama though, like throw him in the deep end.
Actually, like it came to me like 18XX.
I mean, Obama would be great with 18XX.
Yeah,
he'd be so good.
I think 1820.
But it's like, I mean, so maybe this could be a bias that I have about the fact that he's a politician and an academic or whatever. But I see him as someone, and I think it's just as someone who's like maybe working in government, as someone who maybe wants to take on a puzzle or a complicated issue. Sure. And so like learning a bunch of rules. And he also went to law school. So in my mind, I think like that is someone who would be okay grappling with some rules and seeing like, okay, let me see if I can push through on the other side. And that I understand there's bias implicit in what I'm saying, that like an actress wouldn't be like that. But actually, I mean, an actress totally could. And in fact, there are many actresses who are into gaming. And on BGG, Deborah, I forgot her last name. She's, I think, in True Blood, maybe. But she does game night with the whole BGG.
Oh, yes, I know.
So like it's not like, oh, actresses can't game. And I definitely don't want this to be like a gendered thing, like, oh, because she's a woman. It's not that. It's just that like my preconception is that like a former president might be, most former presidents might be, some I'm not sure about, but I don't know what you heard me saying last, people listening.
I think it was some version of like, I don't want to be viewed as sexist, but
yeah, we had a glitch. We were recording this on video and it looked so good and it was really wonderful and it looked so professional.
And I think in the 8 minutes that we lost, I think we kind of solved cancer, but now
we solved so much. So the software, my computer went crazy and it affected my switcher thing. Everything stopped and we lost a solid 4 minutes of really good content. But more importantly, we lost all our video.
Yeah, all of it? We lost it?
I am assuming. We can check. Yeah. This was supposed to be the grand debut of our sub podcast on Game Brain.
Video podcast,
no less, called Table Scraps.
Table Scraps, baby.
But guess what? It is truly a table scrap.
It's scrapped.
It's been scrapped. The video, there is no video. Maybe there'll be some video, but it's a shame. It's a shame. I will say this though, on Watch What Crappens, the very first episode of Watch What Crappens, and now we're like 2,500 episodes deep. Very first episode, my microphone, like I hit the cable, like my USB cable on my like blue Snowball microphone, which was the microphone of like 2012.
It was the choice.
So the hitting the cable caused it to disconnect and reconnect into the microphone really quickly, and it made chaos. It like corrupted the file. And so the very first episode of Watch What Crappens, which was 3 hosts, me, Ronnie Karam, and Matt Whitfield, gone. It was recorded. It was never published because it was a corrupted file. And so if you go back and listen to the first episode of Watch What Crappens from 2012, it's just me and Matt Whitfield because Ronnie had to go and do like a catering gig or something. So Ronnie wasn't even on the first published episode.
I love the fact that I didn't know Ronnie was a caterer.
He did. Well, he did. He picked up gigs. He was he wasn't that he was a caterer. He would like sometimes do.
But just that idea, like him party downing.
Yeah, 100%. So maybe this is a good omen for table scraps.
100%. Like you sacrificed your first episode to the podcast guys, and look at you now, Ben. Look at you now.
Look at me now. Well, you know what? We were gonna throw in the towel, like, oh no, the video's lost. But then it's like, you know what?
We're here.
We already recorded 20, hot minutes about Obama, Erin Brockovitch, and Anna Scott, and we're going to continue. And the 4 minutes that you missed, first of all, what I was trying to say before the file got messed up was that me feeling like Obama would be more interested in a crunchier game than Anna Scott. It's definitely not a gender thing. It's not like because he's a man and she's a woman. It's just that I assume someone who went to law school and, has been involved in very complicated, presidential things would maybe be less put off by like a thicket of rules, whereas someone who doesn't given that everyone has a certain amount of complications and complex situations in their life that they deal with, but maybe it might not be up Anna Scott's alley is what I am saying.
It seems like anti-actress.
It's very anti. And then I said that there are many actresses who play board games. That maybe that made it onto the file. And then we started talking about, you mentioned diplomacy. I don't know I don't think we got to diplomacy yet on the uncorrupt part of it.
And this is me basically saying that like I feel like Obama and Anna Scott could play diplomacy because they both have skills that they could exploit.
I think she would be very good at diplomacy. But I don't know if it would appeal to her. However, I said Erin Brockovitch. I think Erin Brockovitch would be down for it. But she probably likes Dead of Winter so much, she probably wants to play that some more. Because let's be honest, she's loving Dead of Winter right now.
Like she's loving it.
And then I started talking about how I never played diplomacy. And when I first got into gaming, I was all about Catan. And I was told that there was this game called Diplomacy that was 6 hours long and would ruin friendships. And the idea of a 6-hour game was wild to me. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I could ever play that game. And now fast forward to 2025, where I regularly play games that are twice as long as that, happily do so. But in the process, I sort of moved past. And I just never had that moment where I wanted to play Diplomacy.
Yeah, no, Diplomacy is an older game. And I think we tried to play it maybe 7 years ago or some number of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't even that long. And we abandoned it.
Did it ruin friendships?
No, I think I can see how it could. I really can see how it could. Like it's like a lot of people don't like being lied to.
Yeah.
And I always say this. I go, I don't care.
Suck it up.
That's right. So, like, I don't care if I'm manipulated as long as I'm manipulated well.
It's classic Paul.
But like if you like ham-fingeredly try to manipulate me, I hate that. And it's the worst thing. Unless part of your grand manipulation is to like distract me with a ham-fisted manipulation.
Okay.
That would be amazing.
So going back to Anna Scott, who is just basically our fill-in for someone who lives a glamorous life, maybe even someone who's famous.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Anna Scott is, first of all, Anna Scott's not a real person. But we do live in Los Angeles.
Sure.
There are famous people here.
Like in my mind, Anna Scott is Taylor Swift.
Oh my God. Well, wait. Anna Scott is Taylor Swift. Okay, that's really? Well, you are the Taylor Swift fan.
Well, this is my hot take.
That's a very hot take.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I was going to say is, you're here in Los Angeles. You meet a famous actress or personality like Taylor Swift
or Ben Mandleker.
Ben Mandleker. I am a famous actress. I will be in
a personality
reboot of. No, but I'm gonna go famous actress.
Right. Famous actress.
Let's think. Okay, Taylor Swift is actually she's so big. I don't even think you could even.
Is she Anna Scott big?
She's bigger. What about like Sandra Bullock? But she doesn't live here. She lives in Austin, actually. Okay, well, who's a famous actress who's a famous actress you would like to run into and become a board gaming person? Like someone who would be fun to bring into a board game circle with you to play games.
My first thought, comedian actress Ali Wong,
Golden Globe winner Ali Wong.
Yeah, like I was at a restaurant and she and Bill Hader walked in, and it with Rami
Malek.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, there we go.
Okay, well, you know what? I will choose Ali Wong's best friend, Padma Lakshmi.
Okay.
Because I want to do someone who's like a little bit more. Here's the thing.
More personality than actress?
Not personality, but like Ali Wong being a comedian. I feel like comedians sort of like they
could play board games.
They kind of interface with nerddom.
I see.
There's some intersectionality, and then nerddom usually can interface with board games. No. But someone like who's just glamorous and like a Padma Lakshmi or
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence is a great one.
Okay, great.
Okay. So you meet Jennifer Lawrence. Let's just make it Jennifer Lawrence. J-Law.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't know if enough people know Padma Lakshmi. I think it'd be very hard to get Padma Lakshmi to play these games, but who knows? Maybe she would.
Sure.
J-Law. You run into J-Law at a party.
Yep.
You hit it off, and like you guys just like. You decide you want to get J-Law into gaming.
Yes.
How are you going to do this? How do you get someone who is famous and like basically someone who's like sort of out of your league? Not like romantically.
Thank you.
But like
thank you.
You know, someone like
to the world, J-Law is out of my league. Everyone. Thank you, Ben.
Well, I mean, come on. She's out of everyone's league. Not everyone's league, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's someone who is like. Sort of a different social tier than you, but you also could feel.
What are you saying? Oh my God, this is really confronting, Ben.
Someone who just has social skills, who just is like pleasant to be around.
That's right. Showers regularly.
Okay, but like, how are you gonna like? There's this someone like an aspirational figure. And you know in your heart of hearts that if you could get them into gaming. Not only would they love it, but like you would probably get to game with them.
Sure.
Like every week.
And everyone would be impressed that I brought
and you could be
J-Law
like,
to the game group.
You have J-Law. Like you get to play with J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence. Like how do you think how would you do it?
Okay, so we're hitting it off.
At a cocktail party.
At a cocktail party. Like, first of all, everyone needs to know this. And although like you might not realize this, but I have no Riz. I am Rizless.
This is why J-Law is not in your tier. This is why she's the next tier up.
So what I
Riz free, Riz free interaction.
So the first thing I need to do, like, and I'm going to break it down like an engineer / board gamer. The first thing I need to do is change the venue that we're at, because there's nothing I can do to convince her at a cocktail party, because my excellence is not demonstrated at a cocktail party because I'm Rizless.
Yeah, Riz. Yeah.
Okay. So then what we need to do is go to dinner,
right?
Because I have more.
But the thing is this, to get someone like J-Law to dinner, I agree. I think it's not so much that you get her to dinner, it's that I think you have to go to be like, this party's stuffy, right? Like let's go to like this taco place.
So right? In my mind, in my serial killer mind, I'm going like, oh, right now I'm not, despite the fact we're having conversation, I need to demonstrate extreme value and credibility, so that when I suggest, like, oh, I think you'd really like board games, that becomes.
So you're going to build your tastemaker.
Exactly.
Cred. So you're going to do it first by at the party. You're going to be like, you might drop a hint of like, oh, I was at this place, this like amazing place that serves like the best tacos, hoping that she, no pun intended, hoping that she bites and says, I love tacos.
Oh, exactly. Or some version where like it comes naturally, and natural is the what you call it, is the key of like, oh, here's some thing about Paul where Paul has good taste about X. And in my case, I like to think I have adequate taste when it comes to food. And so if I can get her to go somewhere with me where I know the food is amazing, and she responds to that food, then I've shown insight, and you go like, oh, Paul has good taste. And then I could say some version like, oh, blah, blah, blah. We talk. He goes, oh, you know what? I bet you would be really good at this game. Oh, you're that type of person. And
then she says, so J-Law, so we're going to be very yes and. We're going to assume that when you mentioned the taco, that she was like, I love tacos.
Yes.
And that she didn't do something like, oh, that's nice. Like, we're going to assume that like the non-gaming ploys worked to get us into this scenario. So the way you get her into gaming is you first get her show expertise with food and show that you are like on a wavelength of some sort. And then you sort of like you sort of float the idea. Now, what sort of game though are you going to float?
Well, this is this thing like I like talking to J-Law, like and blah blah blah. And just so you know, J-Law and I don't know each other. Well, actually, I've met her once, but but she won't remember me.
You never know.
Like, oh, you're the guy who brought me that chicken salad that one time. But that said, I think that I think, like, without being Ben about this, I don't think it'd be that heavy.
No,
like I think
you do something.
See, here's the thing, and I hate to be this way, but and I'm the only one who in the group who really, me and Jesse actually, or basically, Catan is the end. Is the
100%.
It's the gateway. The rule set is so small compared to
I've got to confess something. So on Watch What Crappens. So Lisa Rinna, soap star, she's been in Melrose Place, been around. She's in her lane. She joined Real Housewives of Beverly Hills several years ago. And when she was like in one of her first years she was on, I mentioned that I was a big Lisa Rinna fan. And I said, I feel like she's the sort of person that like, if you're in a hospital waiting room, she'd get you a croissant. I said this.
Oh, whoa. I love it.
And she wrote a message and was like, I'll get you a croissant any day. And I was like, oh my God, And then actually Ryan and I we actually had dinner with her, and she was great. Really, really
Bring you a
enjoyed it.
croissant?
She brought me a croissant.
Love
actually.
Love it.
But one thing I also did, like the croissant gambit, where it wasn't even a gambit. It was just a thing, but I realized it was a gambit. One thing I did say on the air was I was like, you know what? I feel like it'd be really fun to play Catan with Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
I think that would be just so funny. Did not get any messages about like, hey man, I would love to play Catan with you. But I do think that Catan is a great vehicle.
Yeah.
Because it's great. I mean, Catan is great. It is truly the gateway game, and said without any sort of snobbery around the word gateway. It is the game that can, as you say all the time, you always talk about the shark eyes you see. Like your wife will sometimes get the shark eyes, but like it is a thing when you see those shark eyes, you're like, oh, this is someone who could be a gamer.
That's right.
But I worry that like J-Law is, I don't know. I mean, Catan would be good because Catan is everywhere. People have heard about Catan. I almost wonder though, do you go even like, do you start with like Wavelength?
Like Wavelength is great. Although I've now met people who don't like Wavelength, which is like,
I don't
crazy.
trust them.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. 2 years ago, I wound up going to this random Christmas party. It was like 20 people, and randomly Tiffany Haddish was there.
Ooh.
And she had brought Wavelength, and she was like, guys, we have to play this later. And I was like, I had to leave. Ironically, to go to Candace's board game queen, face of BGG. And in my mind, I was like, oh,
I could be playing Wavelength with Tiffany Haddish.
I was like, I would have connected with her. I would have.
I don't know Tiffany Haddish. I never met her, but like, you know, like seeing like the character that I see, I go like, I bet she probably could play some board games. She
would get into it. I think she would love Catan. I think she would get into the excitement of it. It's like our friend Wole. I remember the first time playing games with him, and I saw that Bloodlusts, and he just gets right into it.
I think what it is like, you know, I think that there is, when you say Bloodlust, but like there's that will to win that people, especially when the stakes are low.
Yeah.
Like, and I think a lot of people have, not everyone has this. I don't know if Anna Scott truly has this, or Taylor Swift, because she's just so winning in real life. Why do you need to pretend win? But like, there's an aspect where like you just remove some of the friction of life, and games facilitate that like, oh, I can, like, I have friends who do not play games because they are too competitive and they don't like themselves playing games, and I go like, oh, that's the one I want to press.
Yeah.
Because for all of it, like, you know, like, and I've always talked about this, you know, like games reveal character, and I just want to see character, and I don't need to see your ambassador. I want to see you. And so that's, anyway.
You invite J-Law over for Catan. And if she shows that like, oh, you can see the wheels are turning in her head. She's realizing that there's like, she's getting excited by the strategic elements, the negotiation or whatever. What's the next step?
Well, here's the thing that I do with all the people I play with who are intro or whatever. I let them get very, very close to winning until I see the shark eyes, and then I deny.
Wow.
Because then they'll want to play again. It's like an addict when a gambling addict, the endorphins hit not when they win, but when they lose.
Yeah. Now, what type of people are you filling out the table with J-Law?
I think people who can remain chill.
Yeah.
That's the essential. You know, and high banter people, fun forward. Fun forward,
bantery people, people who are not going to be like, you cheated. Do you fill the table out with people who are also new at Catan, so that way J-Law is not like alone in this?
That's interesting.
Do you do like a 2 and 2?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. And like, for all of you listening, like, we're not psycho. This is just a random.
No, yeah, this is no, but because it's not really about J-Law. Although if J-Law happens to be listening,
Like
you're invited to Catan.
That's right.
But it's more
you
like,
know what? I think J-Law is the type of person who gives you a croissant in the hospital.
God, I wish. You know what? It's more like sometimes there are people who are. I'll say this. This is not about J-Law, but sometimes in life you meet someone and you're like, I know we could be friends.
Yes.
And I bet we would be friends and it would be so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just know we'd have friends, but I don't know if you see that yet. And
in J-Law? No, yeah.
No, like I don't know if the other
not
person.
Paul. They'll forget that.
I don't know if the other person sees it just yet. Or it's more like I can see the fun that we would have playing games together. So how can I
Facilitate
make this
that.
happen?
Yeah. How can I manifest that?
How can I manifest it? And so you're just thinking like you want to put together the right
Pieces.
I think you can't have everyone be new because then you run the risk that chemistry could go bad if someone doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I think you have one person who is fun forward and is potentially into it, but you know that they will never ruin the vibe even if they're having a bad time. And then you have someone who is fun forward, who knows the game, who can help steer the ship and make sure it's like really fun.
I think the
So unfortunately, Paul, you will not be invited to J-Law night. Just kidding. That was so mean.
That was so mean. My Rizless wonder.
Oh.
No, I think the person, I don't think the person should be new to the game. I think they should be a newbie. Like I think like maybe one game, just so that like you don't want anyone to be super stuck and frustrated. So like there's a balance. But like really, if people, Catan is pretty easy that way. It's not like Age of Steam or like
Now here's another question. In the process of getting J-Law to Catan.
Okay, which is
that's
getting remarkably intricate.
But this is kind of what life is about. Like it is never simple. Okay, so J-Law. Okay, we want to get J-Law to the Catan table. So you're going back to the restaurant.
Yep.
You've won her, like you've earned some cred.
Yep.
Right. You float like I feel like you'd be really good at Catan. What sort of answer are you looking for? What sort of answer from her gives you the signal like, let's put this together? Like what is the signal what is the false flag and what is like the true, like, yes, she wants to play? What sort of answer says to you, she's being polite to me versus like, oh, I think this is going to happen?
Like, first of all, she's an actress, an Oscar-winning actress, I believe.
But you did bring her chicken salad once.
Yes. And as such, like, I don't know if I could ever know that the difference between a false flag and a
right.
To be honest.
And by the way, actors and actresses are their supreme gift. And this is what I've learned from many years in Los Angeles, is they are really good at making you feel like
they like you.
They like you. They are so good at it.
They're professional at it.
Like I have fallen for it so many times. I'm like, I just became friends with that person, and then it's like, oh, I never hear back from them.
Yeah, no. So that given, I think like for me, and maybe I'm a little more conservative about this. I'm sure like let's say she's like not interested. She'd go like, oh, what's that? And then that gives you a little bit of what you call it, of like exposition where you give it, and she goes, oh, well, that sounds great. And that if I get that, I go like, oh, that's going to not really happen. He goes, but if she goes like, well, what about me makes you think that? Then she's self-focused. Exactly. Like, oh, you would be amazing at this game that is called Slightly Catan. And they go like, what's that? I go, it's blah, blah. And he goes like, what makes you think I'm going to be good at that? He goes, well, I don't know. I just met you, aside from chicken salad. Yeah. Like, blah, 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 blah. And so like, ultimately, if she would relate, my comment about her being good at it, back to herself, I think there would be interest there.
I feel like what the phrases that you should be red flags would be if she goes, That's hilarious. That means not interested.
That means you lost your stock. You go.
Or if you hear like, oh my God, that sounds really fun. No. And then that's also like, nope, dead end. Mm-hmm. Right. I think if you hear like I think also if you hear, wait, tell me everything. Wait, I'm obsessed. Wait, I want to hear more about this. Also means probably a dead end.
Trap.
That's a trap. I think, I wonder, the thing is this, the other thing that's hard with like a celebrity is you can't make asks of celebrities. You just can't do it.
Sure.
You may think you can, but you can't say like, you would never be able to say, oh, let's like make a date to play this game, because they sniff that out as like, sure. You know? Mm-hmm. So how do you you have to wait for her to propose it, huh?
A little bit.
How do you get Jennifer Lawrence to propose this?
Like, now that we're mapping out, maybe like it takes the big swing, and the big swing is like, oh, you would be so bad at Catan.
Or is the move to say, I think it'd be so. It is. Trust me, it is so fun. And the thing is, you also don't want to go too far down the path. Mm-hmm. One of my problems is that sometimes I get so excited that in my excitement I lose them, because I'm like, oh, it's this really great game in negotiation. Like, how do you do you have to do like a short pitch. You'd be like, this game is amazing. Like, once you play this game, there's no turning back. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but if you ever want to play it, like, I will happily teach you. Like, you get together the group. I don't care. You just name like, I'm not trying to invade your space. I'm just saying, like, I love this game and you'd be good at it. And it'd be like a shame if you don't know how to play it. I don't know. I don't think that would work though, huh?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, like I have a terrible habit of treating people like people, no matter their status.
Yeah.
And so, like, I get in trouble from other people, like, oh, you did not respect the hierarchy. I go, they're a person. We're working together. We need to get this stuff done. And it sounds like, like great, but like it's a double-edged sword.
But there's sometimes there is a way. Like, again, and it's J-Law as a stand-in, but sometimes I have found that I've tried to kind of pitch sometimes games to people, and I get like a sort of a smile, like, oh my God, that sounds fun. What? I'm like obsessed. Yes. And then they don't care. But like, sometimes maybe the answer is just to be horrible. And what you say is, you don't really give them an option. You actually become domineering, and you say, like, oh my God, you love it. We're going to do it. Okay. When are you free? We're just going to do this. I'm not giving you a way out. We're just doing it. And almost like the confidence of being like, we are playing Catan next week. Sometimes that just works.
No,
I once did that, actually, not playing Catan, but I once went to a party. This is like 15, 18 years ago. It was a Glamour magazine had a party that I somehow got invited to. And it was an ironic party where they tented a Del Taco, and they added a tent to this Del Taco, and they had like all these celebrities there, but you could also go into the Del Taco and have food. So I went and I got some food, and I wanted somewhere to sit. And Molly Sims, who was like a very popular model at the time, she was sitting there with a group of people, and I just said, I said, hey, I'm just joining you guys. There's nowhere to sit. And they're like, okay. And there was like, sure. Just the saying like, hey, I'm doing this. And then I sat and I hung out with Molly Sims, a model.
And then you guys went and played Catan.
If only I'd known about Catan back then.
So, I do believe that there is an aspect of just going for it, right?
Yeah.
Like boldness can pay off.
Yeah.
And so, like, hey, like, here's the thing. If in the real scenario, I go like, hey, J-Law, do you mind? Like, I know you like the food, but like, I'm not gonna, like, I've been talking about you in a podcast about how to trick you to go into game night. How about you just come over to me? We go to my game night. We'll play, and there's no serial killer here. And even when I say that, that doesn't work either.
I don't like this.
Yeah,
I think it's the worst version.
Like boldness, I don't know, like extreme honesty, or express what you want, or clever machinations. Right?
Yeah. Like I think sadly, unfortunately, as many times, like I think J-Law's not coming over for Catan.
Like I think the truth is this. J-Law is not coming over for Catan for me. and here, like a friend of mine, she's been dating this new person, and my friend has been avidly anti-fantasy, anti-sci-fi. Like this is not, she's in the film industry, but like, these are genres that she does not participate in. But her new paramour, is that a good
lover,
sure. She goes, she's been dating a big sci-fi person.
Okay.
Plays D&D, all this role play. And so one day my friend goes like, you know Dungeons and Dragons, Paul? I go, yeah, I do. And he goes like, what class do you think you would be? I'm going, what the hell is happening here? I'm like, it's like I'm having a stroke here. You're like,
yeah.
Well, like I'm typically a magic user, but when I first started, they didn't have like the Warlock class. But now that they do, that's probably a bit more me. Like like someone who's trying to take the shortcut to power. Blah blah. And then he goes like, what do you think I am? And then at the same time we go, druid.
Oh, wow.
but the fact that but like there would be no way I could have gotten her into D&D.
Right.
But that wasn't the window I had access to.
Yeah.
And so I don't think like at a cocktail party to even dinner at
it's never even getting to the dinner.
It's not even getting to a cocktail party.
But I think though that like the truth is, yeah, like J-Law's not coming over for gaming, and even in the theoretical situation. I do think though it is realistic to be at a party and meet someone, hit it off, do something like, hey, this is weird. You guys want to go to this taco place? And then you say, we're having a great time. I'm going to say right now, I want to put it on the books. Let's go play this. Come over and we're going to play Catan next week. And here's my address. And I think if it's a non-celebrity, because the thing is with a celebrity, there's elements of, there's boundary issues that celebrities have to be really careful about that.
Sure.
So, but with other people don't have boundary issues.
100%.
And so if you have someone like that, and the reason why, going back to Anna Scott, the reason why Anna Scott was part of the conversation about like what game she would play, she would maybe play Windmill Valley, but is because she took down her boundary in that movie.
Yes, but also in that movie, she invited herself.
Right. She came to the party. Hugh Grant did not reach out to her. So she given that she already surmounted all these things that we've talked about, like all that, really everything we've just talked about in the podcast goes out the window. She's now there at the table and she sits there and she says Windmill Valley, she's like, wait a second, this is too much. I think with Anna Scott, you start her on Catan. I don't know if Anna Scott. Do you think Anna Scott likes Catan?
Like you are really anti-Anna Scott.
I don't know.
Here.
You know what? I haven't seen the movie in 25 years, so maybe I don't know. I think I'm just conflating Julia Roberts.
You don't think Julia Roberts would play board games?
Actually, you know what? Julia Roberts would play Catan.
I think
she would. I think she would have she would be.
You would get her
actually so fun. She would be so fucking fun.
Yeah, like you get her famous laugh.
She would be amazing.
Yeah.
She would be great at it.
You know who might not be so great?
J-Law.
Erin Brockovitch.
Erin Brockovitch would get too competitive for Catan.
It might be, yeah.
Dead of Winter. She's Dead of Winter. Just let her play Dead of Winter. Let her just play it. She'd have so much fun. She could tell her friends. Yeah, I think that's where it goes. But I think the lesson that we've learned here today is we should probably not hang out with J-Law.
Yeah. But maybe we're selling ourselves short. Maybe they go like, man,
maybe she's listening.
She's like, I can't believe that. Like if some magical 2025 magic happens that J-Log like reply, oh, just so you know, I'm a big fan of your podcast and I'd love to come to your game night. You know, then we'd know someone's punking us.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. But yeah, this was fun. So even though our video equipment failed us on this first episode of Table Scraps, I feel like the banter saved us. The banter will always be there for us, won't it?
Yeah, like Table Scraps is it's going to be our.
It's our chat show.
Yeah, there exactly.
It's our board game chat show.
Board game chat. I love that.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Catch you in the next Table Scraps.
Scraps.